My name is Harper Reed, at least that's what everyone knows me as. Actor, singer, the so-called darling of Hollywood. People say I have everything: fame, fortune, influence. But none of that prepares you for the night I disappeared. For 2 hours, or maybe more. I don't know. Time became meaningless after that night. It was the summer of 2023 in the hills of Los Angeles. I had rented this secluded mansion far from the paparazzi. It was modern, all glass walls, a perfect sanctuary. But the moment I stepped inside, something felt wrong. I first noticed it around midnight. I was in my office reviewing scripts. The only sounds were the hum of the SC and me typing. Then faintly, I heard a footstep behind me. I froze. I live alone. No one else has the code. I slowly turned. Nothing. I shrugged it off, thinking maybe it was just an animal outside or the house settling. But this house was too new to settle. I tried to get back to work, but the feeling wouldn't go away. Every so often, a floorboard would creak. Just one beat behind me, like someone was pacing in perfect sync with my own movements. By 2 in the morning, I was completely unnerved. I grabbed my phone, switched on the flashlight, and swept it across the dark corners of the room. Still nothing, but the feeling of being watched was getting stronger. My heart was racing. I was about to dismiss it all as paranoia when I heard a whisper. Not a normal whisper. It was close, almost inside my head, but in the room at the same time. Harper, I froze. The voice, it was mine. Or it sounded exactly like mine, but stretched, distorted, hollow. I spun around. The room was empty. I did what any rational person would do. I tried to call my assistant. No answer. Then my manager. No answer. My phone lines were dead. Then I caught movement in the corner of my eye. Something shifting in the reflection of the glass wall. I turned. Nothing. But when I looked back at the reflection, a figure was standing there. It was me. I stepped closer to the glass. My own face stared back at me, but the eyes were wrong. Just dark, hollow pits that seemed to suck the light out of the room. The figure smiled, but it was unnatural. The skin stretched too wide. I stumbled back. Do you see now? The voice came from the reflection, not from the room. I ran for the door. Locked. I tried the windows. Locked. The balcony doors wouldn't budge. Panic set in. My mind was screaming for a rational explanation. A hallucination? Exhaustion? Was the stress of fame finally cracking my mind? I screamed. No one came. And then the whispers started. Not one voice, but hundreds. From every corner, every crevice, inside the glass, beneath the floor. Harper, Harper, Harper. I backed into the center of the room, covering my ears, but the voices weren't sound. They were inside me, in my skull, in my chest. I couldn't escape. Then I saw movement again, not my reflection. Something else, tall, thin. Its skin was pale, almost translucent. Its limbs were too long, bending at impossible angles. Its head was tilted completely to the side. It glided toward me, not walking, not running, just gliding. And as it got closer, the lights flickered and went out. I was in complete darkness. I don't know how long I stood there, frozen. Time just stopped existing. The creature whispered again, in a voice that was a perfect copy of my own. You were never meant to have this life. I felt my chest tighten, the air leaving my lungs. My vision tunneled. I tried to fight, but my body wouldn't respond. It was as if my very being was trapped. And then it spoke again. I take everything from those who look at me too long. Suddenly, the lights came back on. Blindingly white and cold. The figure was gone, but my office was different. The furniture was shifted slightly. My computer screens flickered with images I didn't recognize. Pictures of me sleeping, pictures of me in this very house, pictures of me outside, dated months, even years back. I checked my phone, hundreds of new photos and videos. I didn't remember taking any of them. And in every single frame, behind me, always behind me, a figure loomed. Black, faceless, elongated. I tried to leave, but every door, every window, every exit seemed to vanish. The house itself, it was alive, reshaping. Corridors stretched into impossible lengths. Hallways led to rooms I had never seen before. Rooms filled with flickering televisions, each showing a different angle of the house of me. And on each screen, that figure lingered, watching. I ran down a hallway and stumbled into a living room, but the furniture was older, antique, like I'd stepped into a different era. Dust filled the air. And then I saw a mirror, floor to ceiling. I cautiously walked toward it. My reflection looked normal for a second, then it smiled. That same unnatural, stretched, impossible smile. It's time, it whispered. I screamed and turned, but the room had shifted again. Every exit was a solid wall. Every window was covered in black. Panic consumed me. I was trapped inside my own home with something that had my face, but not my soul. I lost track of time. Hours passed, maybe days. The whispers never stopped, and then came the laughter. Faint at first, like a child, then louder, mocking, echoing through the halls, the walls, my mind. I tried to record it. My camera worked at first, but then the footage just distorted into static, glitches, and my own voice speaking words I never said. And in the darkest frames, the figure was there, getting closer and closer. I don't know why it waited, why it didn't just attack. Maybe it needed me to understand, to fear, to suffer. And then the final moment came. I was standing in my bedroom, staring at my reflection in the window, with the city lights flickering below. The figure appeared behind me, perfectly mirroring my posture. I could see it, a perfect copy, yet so wrong in every single detail. It whispered again, "You are not safe. Not from me. Not ever." Then, just as suddenly as it had all begun, it vanished. I woke up on my living room floor. Sunlight was filtering through the windows. My phone lay beside me. I had no memory of how I got there. No scratches, no injuries, nothing except for the tapes. Hundreds of VHS tapes scattered across the floor, labeled in a handwriting I didn't recognize. I tried to play one, static, then silence. Then my own voice distorted, whispering from the tape. "He's watching, always." I left that house that day. I never went back. The city looks normal now, but I know the truth. That thing is real. It's patient. It watches from the shadows. And it knows my face, my voice, my thoughts. I don't know why it didn't take me entirely that night. Maybe it's still waiting. Maybe it's learning. And now I am telling this story because I fear that forgetting is the only way to survive. Because if I forget, it wins. And maybe one night it will come for you too. If you've ever felt like you're being watched, or if you've experienced something you just can't explain, please share your story in the comments. We are not alone in this. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.